Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. My name is Marta Salvador from NEST, Innovation Tourism Center in Portugal. And welcome to our fourth webinar, deep dive webinar of the Tourbit project. Today, our theme is on Internet of Things for the tourism sector. We will be having three guests today from three different places, from Portugal, from Iceland, and France. And to make just a presentation, we will have Miguel Silva from Managing the Intelligence from Portugal. Then we have Ayla from Iceland and Gregoire from France. Before we start our presentations, we have a short introduction for you on the project. And with us, we will have Leonie Ham from Barcelona Chamber of Commerce, which will introduce us a little bit of the project and the objectives that we have. Leonie? I'm sorry, I didn't present the agenda, but yes. So this is what we will go today, and I'll pass the word now to Leonie.
Thanks, Marta. Good morning, everyone. Also from my side here from Barcelona. I just wanted to give you a bit of a background on this project Tourbit, which is kind of the framework for this series of webinars that we are doing, as Marta just said, but also for a lot of other activity that I will present you right in a second. And this is just to give you an idea what this project is about, what we're doing, and how you as a company can benefit from this project. So the project is called Fostering Digitalization of European Tourism SMEs, in short, Tourbit, and we started this project in January this year, and it will last for 30 months. We got funding for it from the European Commission under a specific program that's called Competitiveness of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, COSME, under a specific call for proposals for innovation uptake and digitalization in the tourism sector. And the project is coordinated by the Catalan Tourist Board, but we also have a set of other partners on board. And Marta, if you change the slide, I'll introduce you to our partnership, which is composed of partners coming from all over Europe. We as the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce are representing one partner here in Barcelona. Then we have the Welcome City Lab from Paris in France, ArcTour from Slovenia, the Cluster Hospitality Brussels, which is hosted by the Hub Brussels in Belgium, the Iceland Tourism Cluster, the Lapland University of Applied Sciences from Finland, and a NEST Tourism Innovation Center from Portugal that Marta is representing today. So all of these partners are very much committed to this overall objective that we have in our project, which is, we'll see that right on the next slide. Thanks, is to support you tourism SMEs in the uptake of digitalization and innovation by fostering your skills, knowledge, and your network. And we're doing that by rolling out a transnational and cross-ecosystem support scheme that is based on three pillars, which are learning, building, testing, and implementing. So this kind of three-pillar system, is kind of representing the journey that we want you as tourism SMEs to undergo with us, or that we're offering to you. In the first step, learning, we are offering, apart from these very interesting webinars that we are doing those weeks, another training program, which is adapted to different levels of digitalization that you might be facing. So the training program that kind of picks you up right where you stand as tourism SME. And to know where you stand, we have developed a specific tool called the Digital Readiness Index, which is an online tool where you can log in, create your account, and respond to a set of questions. And that way, and know what's your state of digitalization, right? And then in the second pillar, the building pillar, we are offering a different sets of activities. One of them are co-creation workshops where we kind of help you to build ideas of specific projects that you might have an interest in implementing to advance in your digitalization. And we will also do a European hackathon, which is also made to give you ideas for specific digitalization projects. And then in the third step, you can implement those projects with the help of finance that we will give you through a call for proposals, where you can hand in your proposals and get up to 9,000 euros for your project, which you can then implement in the framework of an acceleration program that lasts for 10 months. And we will launch the call in January this year. So yeah, stay tuned, let's say. And I'll give back to Marta. Thanks.
Thank you, Leonie, for your explanation. From now, I think we are ready to pass the word to our guests, because we are, well, we have a short amount of time. So Miguel, if you can, please, you can share your screen.
Okay, thank you.
And from now, we'll have Miguel Silva.
Thank you, Marta, and good morning to everyone. My name is Miguel Silva. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the company managing the intelligence. Today, I'm going to try to explain a little bit what is the IoT, Internet of Things, and after that, I'm gonna explain a little case study that we have from a solution that we developed that we call MT Smart Room. First, I'm going to explain a little bit what is the IoT. IoT, we call Internet of Things. What is a device, a IoT device? IoT device, we can say that is an electronic device that have sensors and actuators, have a small microprocessor to collect the data that we have from the sensors, and we have a communication device and a power supply. This communication device is going to communicate and is going to transmit all the data that was collected by the sensors transmit to another device, or for example, to a server that is in the cloud. I give always this example. In Portugal, at many years ago, we start to have some t-shirts with some IoT device. Why we consider that these t-shirts have the IoT device? Because they have a sensor to measure the temperature of the body. This sensor, this device have also a communication device to communicate, to collect all this data, the temperature of the body, and to send that data for a mobile phone, for example, or for a server that is in the cloud. We can say that the IoT devices or the IoT technology have different names. We can call smart objects, for example, or we can call smart sensors, or we can call cooperating objects, for example. When you listen all these names, it means a IoT device, it means a IoT technology. So a little of history where IoT came from. IoT is a mix of a lot of technologies that we already know, that are in the market, and we mix all these technologies and we can have the IoT devices working with all these technologies. We have some examples. We have the computer networks, we have the telemetry, for example, to know on remote what is the energy that we are consuming, for example, in our homes. We have other things. Ubiquitous computing is a little bit is a different concept, and with all these technologies we can have some IoT devices. I can give you an example, a simple example. For example, in the wash machine that we have in our homes, we have some embedded systems in these machines. Why? Because we see a display, we have a microprocessor, for example, we have some power supply. When we put some communication, when this wash machine communicate with others device, IoT device or servers, we can say that this machine have a IoT device, and we are going to call that machine a smart appliance. That's the big difference between the traditional machines, wash machines, for example, that have the embedded systems. And if these machines communicate the data that they collect from the sensors that they have, pressure, for example, level of water, if they communicate this for another machine, another device, for a server, we can say that we have a smart appliance, is a wash machine that have a IoT device, Internet of Things device. This is a small example. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this, but we have these examples. What kind of architecture that we can have in the IoT? The first example, we have the nodes. Okay, this air that is here is the nodes, is the IoT devices. These IoT devices can connect between each other. Okay, and we have a mesh network. And in the limit of this network, we have the edge router. For example, we can say a ZigBee network is a kind of IoT architecture that use a mesh network, for example. We have other examples. The simple one, for example, is this one that we have. The edge router is a Wi-Fi router. These, the nodes, the device of IoT is going to communicate with this router, is going to communicate in star, okay, not in mesh. Mesh is all the devices that are connected between them, and they can connect, they can collect the data, and they can send the data to the edge router. And after that, you have the router of the internet that is going to collect all the data that are in the device by the edge router, and is going to put, for example, in the remote server. This is a simple explanation of some IoT architectures that we can use. Of course, that we have more information, but it's not possible to give all the information on the IoT, because IoT is a world of knowledge. We have some challenge that are posed to the IoT devices or to the IoT networks. We have the challenge that we call the technological challenge, and we have the non-technological challenge. I'm going to talk just about the technological challenge. In the first slide, we said that in the first slide, we said that the size matters, okay, of the smart objects. We can think that the smart objects or the IoT devices, we can call smart objects, smart sensors, IoT devices. Sometimes the applications that we want to give to these IoT devices are very difficult. I can give you an example. For example, we want a IoT device that can measure the pollution on the sea, for example. So we have some limitations. We have the limitations for this device, for example, in the power supply, because we are not going to have some connection to the network, the normal network. We need some power supply to have a lifetime of 10 years, 20 years, for example. We have some limitations also in the processing in the microprocessors of the IoT device, because almost all the times the IoT devices are very small. Think, for example, in the first example that I give on the T-shirt, that is going to measure the temperature of the body. This IoT device is very, very, very small. So we have a limitation on the processing. Also have limitation on the memory. It's true that the data that we are going to collect from the sensors are not too big. It's true, but even so, the limitations and the challenges on IoT devices, on the nodes that we have, we're starting to see some new technologies, narrowband IoT, for example, LoRaWAN, for example, that are trying to eliminate these challenges, these limitations. So, some applications that we can have to the IoT networks or the IoT devices. Health, biomedical monitorization. I give the example of the t-shirt that have the IoT, for example. Military industry, this is not a good example. We can pass this. Industrial automation, building automation. We are going to talk a little bit about building automation after this. For example, to control the pollution, I give the example of a IoT device that have a sensor to control the pollution, for example, in the water, in the sea, for example. Logistics and transportation. We can have, for example, IoT devices in the garbage, for example, to see if that garbage, if that box of the garbage is empty or not. And with that, we can, for example, give some routes to the guys that collect the garbage, the better routes, optimization routes. We have some examples, for example, in the smart energy networks, the smart grids, we can call the smart grids, and we have also other examples for the smart cities and the urban networks. This is some applications that we can have on the IoT device. I have here some examples, some little picture that we have a lot of IoT devices in the home. One is a home area network, is more or less like the lands, the networks that we have in the companies. We can have a network that is in our home, and I have a lots of devices, for example, to integrate smart appliance, for example, the wash machine, or to manage and control the HVAC systems, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioner systems. We can integrate some smart meters with IoT devices to measure the energy, and more important, to control some energies behaviors, for example, in the use of this energy, electrical energy, for example, lighting control. We can integrate with microgrids, and we can, for example, integrate, when we call microgrids, we have here, for example, wind energy, and we have here solar energy, and this is a microgrid. This is meaning that we are producing the energy in our home, and this home is our grid. And the grid and this production is going to be controlled and is going to be managed for IoT devices, for example. Feel free to interrupt me if you want, okay? No problem. So here, other example, this is an example that for us is very important, because the case study that I'm going to show to, after is based on this. We can have IoT to have a more energy efficiency on the use, for example, of the electricity in the home, in the hotel, in the villa, for example, with the IoT devices and with other technologies, but with the IoT devices, we can control, for example, all the electrical chargers that we have in our home, for example. And with some algorithms, for example, and some software, we can manage to balance, for example, the consumption according to the contracted tariffs that we have. For example, between 9 and 10 o'clock in the night, the energy cost is cheaper. So it's logical that we can use more our electrical charges in this schedule. For example, if we have a system that can manage this in automatic way, we are going to have more energy efficiency.
Miguel, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We just have 5 minutes left, okay?
Okay. This is the case study is very I'm going to be very quick.
Okay.
In MTE, we developed the smart room. The solution that is a smart room is a solution that we develop some IoT devices, and we develop some we teach some artificial intelligence algorithms for having savings at least of 20% in the electricity bills. This solution is intended in the first in this is intended for the global hospitality accommodation market. And with this solution, we can have at least 20% of savings of reduction in the electricity bill. And that at the same time, and this is very important, we can increase the customer and the guest thermal comforts in the unit, in the room, in the villa, etc., in the building. Why this is important? I'm going to pass a little bit this because first, the buildings that we have these activities, the activities, for example, of hotel, of villa, the HVAC systems and the lighting systems, HVAC, heat, ventilation, air conditioning, can consume between 50 to 70% of electricity on these buildings. We have a lot of waste of electrical and thermal energy on these buildings, and we need to reduce the energy cost because at least if we go 1 year earlier, we have an increase of in the electricity costs that are more than 100%, for example. And this is very important. We need to have some energy efficiency in the accommodation units, in the room of the hotel, in the villa, for example. I have here some examples. I'm just going to talk about 2 or 3 that are the more simple ones. For example, if we don't have any guest in the room, it's not logical, for example, that the air conditioner is still working because we don't have any guest in the room. Even, for example, after the check-in, when the guest enter in the room, for example, the room is too hot or is too cold, for example. And what the guest is going to do, it's normal. He's going to put an extreme set point. He's going to put, for example, 18 degrees on the summer. And this is not good because we don't have thermal comfort, and we are going to have a huge consumption of energy, and we don't have the balance between these thermal comforts and this consumption of energy. Other example that is very simple, the window is open, for example, in the summer, in the winter, and the equipment is operating, the air conditioner is working. This is a waste of energy because the air conditioner is working and we have the window is open. So we have a lots of examples that we can be that in the use, for example, of the air conditioner, the gas can be more efficient, we can have a energy efficiency. And our system is going to control this on automatic way. And how is going to control? This is important. We develop some hardware IoT devices that are not intrusive, don't need works, don't need, for example, to install pipes, to install cables. It's easy to install, to configure, and it works with any brand and with any air conditioner system. For example, we have an intelligent air conditioning controller. This controller have sensors. If you recall, we talked that the IoT devices have sensors, have actuators. They can communicate with our server that are in the cloud by the internet network that we have, for example, in the hotel, by the Wi-Fi network that are in the hotel, and with our software that is working in the server, we are going to have savings at least of 20%, like we talked earlier. These devices can integrate with internet TV, with PMS, and with BMS, building management systems. We already talked the software. We have the software that we can see the savings in kilowatts, for example, and in euros. We have also in our client app some classification systems for the ecological footprint of the guest when he use the air conditioner in the room, for example, and with that, the hotel can implement some rewards programs to the guests depending on the ecological footprint of this guest. So I end. This is a case study. We have already these implementing lots of hotels, and we have more than 1,300 devices already implemented. And with the IoT devices, we can make a statement that all the units is going to be more sustainable, is going to be more comfortable, and is going to be more smarter. So I finish. I don't know if I pass or not, Marta.
Thank you, Miguel, for your presentation. Excellent presentation. I would now ask you for so you to take off your presentation, and we will keep the questions to the end. Okay.
Okay.
So now Thank you, Miguel. I would pass to Ala, and then the same thing. Should our guests have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and we will be able to interact with our guests in the end. So Ala, it's yours.
Hi, my name is Ala Guðmundsdóttir. Nickname is Allah, so it's a little bit difficult to pronounce. So of course you can call me Allah. I'm managing Vökbaths, a geothermal bath in East Iceland. So you understand my presentation a little bit better. I'm going to go through a short video so you can, relate to what I'm talking about. It's just going through the customer experience so you can see what you can expect when you arrive. We actually as well, we have like in the lighting system, in the pool system, and in the AC, they actually like sense when it's dark outside and when it's light outside. So, the lighting is controlled by that, so it's actually saving electricity as well during summer, for example, when we've got 24 hours of daylight. I'm hoping everybody will go to East Iceland to our nature bath when this presentation is finished.
Hello, for sure. I think we all went.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hear is the music, but I think we can easily understand the presentation.
I took the music off. It's
okay.
Yeah.
I think we are all very much convinced already.
Yeah. And one of the things that is what we're always doing, we are improving. And from when this video was created, we've improved a few other things as well, which I'm showing you in this presentation. So a little bit of overview. What I'm going over is Bókun, our booking system, ClickUp, which is a project management tool, self-service, tablets and screens, how we're using that, our online school, online marketing and utilization of databases, like going from old systems to newer ones, and then dashboards. It's just a quick overview. But one of the things, like I took over, like I started that like 1.5 years ago. And one of the things, it was implementing Bókun better into our system. So we could actually utilize and have like more, like distribution of customers throughout the day. And so they could also see, like, for example, when it was sold out. So it's like technology working together with, for the customer to enhance all experience. Also technology, like when like using promo codes, add-ons. We're analyzing data for opening hours and how many people we have to have on shift, as well as communicating with the customer about what to expect. So everyone, who arrives will have a copy of our video, customer journey video, which you just saw. And then, like we'll send them messages, like messages about nearby attractions. It's more like if you've booked a hotel at booking.com or something, what I'm talking about. So we are, some of those, like we're still in implementing phase. We are using, like, for example, project management tool for new hire employees, and in tourism, like many of you guys know, we've got, high season and low season. So a lot of things regarding, like, so we are hiring, we maybe need like 3 people on shift during winter, but we need 14 people on shift during winter, summer. So we need to hire a lot of people in a short amount of time for like 3-4 months. So we are trying to simplify all the processes as possible. That's why we have new hire template tasks, and we just create, like, as soon as a new person starts, we create this template task with their name. Like, for example, like we rename this one Martha, and we start up again. So the office needs to send a welcome email. We need to like new hire form, create a contract, and like all these. And then once the person has started to work, we have, like, for example, tasks like in the reception, how they're supposed to answer regarding job applications, how the cashier works, So it's like at least 196 tasks that we need to, like, the trainee needs to go through. But to make sure the training is going well, we have, these tasks. We are also in the implementation phase in creating a self check-in. So when you saw the person came in earlier in the video, like now in August, we'll be able to skip a line or not talk to a person. They can get their own bracelet, which they use, with their locker and with their at the bar, so people can check in on their own. And once they are checking out as well, they so say, for example, they are in the pools, and the reason why I have this picture here is, like, here is our pool bar, for example, and people walk over here a bridge over to a floating pool 1 and floating pool 2. But here in the middle, during the summer and hot days, we are going to have a patio cooler with drinks, most popular drinks, and then will be a tablet there. So we're always thinking about how we can enhance the customer experience, and to think about, like, the customer is there and they don't want to go all the way, like walk over the bridge to the pool bar. So this is one of the things that we are in implementation phase at these days. And self-service customers are often actually the most happiest customers of them all. So yeah, this is, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works. And this should have been in the works on the 20th of May, but we're still in the process of implementing. One of the things as well, because we're hiring so many people at the same time, we decided to invest in an online school. So we have around, like, at the moment, we've got 8 courses. So, like, for example, we've got lecture here on a typical day at Life at Work for a work employee. So it's like how to welcome guests. It's a 4-minute video on how to welcome guests. In the reception, almost 2 minutes, and what to do at the bar and what to do at the locker rooms. So this is just to help employees to do their work. And for example, it's one of the videos is also how to change a beer keg, because people need to know that. We are doing, these typical things with the online marketing and utilizing databases for sales, retargeting people through a Facebook pixel, and also targeting people through locations. So with the social media, Google searches and AdWords, and using the analytics. We are also like a lot working on getting ourselves into itineraries and blogs. And for example, we are really close to a harbor here, so a lot of cruise ships come. So we utilize their overview of the ship names and the dates. So we see how many people are coming, both to target them through sales and to plan shifts on how many people we have on shift. As well, we have weather targeting in our online marketing, because, for example, a lot of people like to come join us when there is sun out, and less people when it's like windy or rainy, which is actually like also a really cool time to come and visit. But here's one of the things that like from the old systems to the new ones, like we've got a system like now called Navision, like our financial system. Well, we are upgrading to like the cloud service of Navision, like looking into it, and then that's a Business Central. So that also always, like when you have a databases of your data in the cloud, it also makes it easier for you for us to have a dashboard with all our data. So that's one of the things that we need to look into. But however, we'll be looking a little bit better into that, because it depends on like what solution you choose, how easy everything integrates with everything in the future. But yeah, I recommend that everybody has like a really good dashboard and overview of their operations. Yeah, but that's it from me. Yeah, I have my contact details here if you have any questions afterwards as well.
Thank you, Ala. Thank you for such a great presentation. I would invite you to put your questions in the chat for Ala, so that she can answer in the end and engage. And for now, I am going to call Grégoire from Affluence from France, and he's going to share his screen. Hello. Grégoire, we cannot listen to you. We are not listening. And we also need you to maybe put your presentation bigger, if you can. We cannot listen to you. Not yet.
Hello, is it better now?
Yes, now yes.
All right.
Now it works.
I was sharing my screen, but you cannot see it, right?
We cannot see your screen. Now it.
Is that working?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, on my screen it's saying it's okay.
We can only see you at the screen.
Okay, it's on my screen. It's telling me like I'm sharing my screen, but you cannot see it, right?
Yes, and we are listening with echo.
Yeah, we can see your screen, but we can see Zoom on your screen. So we see, if you put your presentation on your screen, then we would probably see it.
Yes.
Yes, now we see it. And if
Is it better now? Okay, because okay.
Yes.
Great.
Great.
So, hi everybody. I'm Grégoire Tabar. I'm one of the co-founder of Affluence. And today I will try to introduce Affluence. Yes.
Sorry, we are just listening with a lot of echo. Maybe if you, I don't know, try without the micro, because it is a strong echo.
Normally with the microphone it's the best, but
now it's better. Now it's better.
Better? All right. So I will start again.
But we need to see your screen now.
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
Great. Perfect.
Sorry. Yeah. So I'm Gregor Tabar. I'm one of the co-founder of Affluence. We are mostly based in France, but we have some office in different cities in Europe. I will try to explain you how to include IoT sensor in a global solution, because sensor is great, but it's always better to have a real solution behind. In 2015, we started Affluence with a simple observation of our daily life. The best place to visit are often really busy. In your student life, have you ever wondered how busy is a library? Will I find a spot to study? And when it starts to be hot like these days, sometimes you are looking for a pool, and you want to know which one around you is not too busy to welcome you. But something we will find mostly in the tourism is you're often scared when you visit a great city or a wonderful place, is how long will I wait to get into the museum, or will busy, and when is the best moment to come in this place? To answer this problem, we have been developing Affluence all around Europe these 7 last years. At Affluence, we work on 4 main steps. The first one is to measure the waiting time of the occupancy of a spot. The second step is to forecast the data you can measure. The third one is communicate this information, and the fourth one is manage all of this information in an admin portal. So how we measure? It's where we can use IoT, and you have different way to measure people flow. The first one, like for the waiting time, we mostly use video sensors, and we use some video sensors and in different specific area of your spot. For measuring occupancy, we'll install some counting system which are wireless and autonomous, which is really easy to install with in a few minutes in your museum or in any place you want. All this information is in real time. That's sent us on a server, and we can manage this information after. So once we measure, it's important to forecast the information. But we can go further. People like to take decisions before moving. If they're at home or if they're in the street, they want to know what happened, should they move or not. So that's why real-time information is really important. But for the predictive analysis, we have an algorithm, and we will retrieve all the information. We will check the weather forecast, the calendar, if it is in a holiday or not, etc., etc. So we retrieve all this information, and we can give some forecast early, hour by hour, and help the visitors to make a decision. Once you measure and forecast the information, the most important thing is don't keep the information for yourself, and enhance your visitor experience. Spread the information on every devices you can. So we have our own platform, Affluence. It's a mobile application, but behind you have a lot of platforms that you can share the information. You can share the information on your website with API, directly on digital screen on your site, or any other app or devices you like to communicate. Sharing the information with people is also important, but you can also share this information internally to take great decision. Like particularly on our admin portal, you can have all the statistics, analyze the information, and receive some alerts if you can see different situation and any problem happens in your building. To conclude, like the solution is really important for all of the part of your site. It's important for the visitors, as we saw, like this, choose the best moment to visit a place. For an institution, improve the communication and reception and avoid situation of emergency. That was really true during COVID. And for the decision maker, statistics help for better decision making and understanding your visitors. Today, our solution is used by more than 1 million people, and we launch the app and the solution in more than 50 cities in Europe. We have 1 million users, and they rate us 4.6 on every stores. You can see our reference, like all over in Europe, which are the main sport in Europe, like museums, like the Louvre Museum, the Eiffel Tower, or some university as Cambridge, or some swimming pool as Paris, for example. And I remain available to develop some really study case in your activity, so don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you.
Thank you, Grégoire, for your presentation. Thank you. It was very good. I just would like to ask you to stop sharing the screen, maybe. Yeah. So just for a quick wrap up for the cases we had today. So we started today with Miguel Silva from Managing the Intelligence. He gave us a short introduction on what IoT is, on where it comes from, several applications, and namely gave us an application on for building automation. And so he gave us here, he presented as a case with a smart room solution. Then we had a quite different approach with Hayla, and she brought us the example of the Volkswagen and showed us a lot of the applications that they are having to enhance the customer experience, and both to leverage the customers and the employee satisfaction, which I saw your example is quite good as well. And for last we had Grégoire with Affluence, a platform that can measure and can forecast the number of visitors, and especially useful not only for visitors and for both institutions and visitors and decision makers. So at this point, I don't know if so far we don't have anyone putting some questions here. I don't know if everyone. No.
We have a question, Marta.
Sorry, to Miguel. Okay. Okay. Miguel, can you see the question? Or?
Yes. We have already some applications with implants. I used to give some formations of IoT, and I have a video, and it is a very old video. Maybe he have six years. This video. What is this video? You have someone that can help. Have a problem. I don't know how we say in English, Marta. I don't know if you can help me. Em cadeira de rodas. Is someone that is walking in the stair wall, and they implement some IoT devices in the brain. Okay, the brain is mapped. They map the brain, And when this patient wants that this stair, I don't know if you call the stair wheel, yeah, stair wheel. When the patient wants that the stair wheel runs, he thinks on that, okay. And when he thinks on that, in our brain we have the neurons that is going to be activated. These IoT devices know that this neuron is activated and is going to send information to the stair wheel to run. And if, for example, if he wants that go to the right or to the left, he just think on that, and the steer wheel is going to run. So, yeah, maybe the future. This is a good example. Of course, this is a good example. We have some other examples to the military industry that they already developed, but this is not a good example. So the future of IoT is electronic plants. Yeah, maybe if, for example, in the case of Hala, using the, how we call the
bracelets,
instead of that, you can implement the IoT devices on your hand, for example. They already do that. For example, the electronic chip with the dogs, for example, they already do that. I don't know if it's going to be the example, the future, but I'm sure that is going to be one of the futures of IoT.
I agree, Miguel. Many things are coming, yes, and many developments. For now, and for the tourism SMEs, maybe that future is still a bit far, but who knows? If we don't have any more questions, I would then just show here, sorry, let me just show my screen here. So, sorry, now it's me that I don't have my presentation on. I was just going to tell you that to finish today, we are now just, sorry for this. Can you see my screen now? Yes, you can. So, as we are saying, this activity is the deep dive webinars. We are coming together in Tourbit's community. If we are not part of the Tourbit's community, you can find all the information on our website, the Tourbit website. And from these webinars that have been already gone through, we have already done 4. 3 more are to come in several technologies that are very relevant for the industry at the moment. We invite you to join us. And next Tuesday, it will be the theme on cloud computing. We ask you to join us, to follow us at our website and LinkedIn and Twitter. And thank you for your presence today, and thank our speakers. And should you want to contact them later, we can give contacts to all. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.